Hello.
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 Hello, and welcome to Black Dragon Roleplay, where we are not professional voice actors. We are not gaming gods. We are just a group of friends that have been brought together through the love of story who want to share our tabletop adventures with all of you. A few things before we start our session proper. We are so glad that you are here watching us live on Twitch. We appreciate all the support that we have here. If you are new here and you want to keep up with the campaign, please drop us a follow. If you'd like to support us, there is a subscribe button. Drop your prime, sub for some emotes, support the stream. We greatly appreciate everyone who is able to do so. We have a YouTube, we have social media, we have a Discord, we have our personal links. All of that and more can be found in the boxes below, so go ahead and click on those. We play D&D every Friday, or most Fridays, but if we're not playing D&D, we usually play some video games every once in a while. You can join us on usually Tuesday. I know I'm sounding very vague in this, the more
I'm good
I
this Tuesday.
speak, but Tuesday, sure. Join us Tuesday for Thumper the Moose. We're usually playing something. Payday, Stellaris, Civ, something. We'll play something sometime. There. We are now 50 episodes into this campaign, so if you have missed anything or would like to watch the show from the beginning, please take a look at our YouTube page. Every previous session is eventually posted there within a week or two, so please join us on YouTube. Click that click, I said click that like button, click the subscribe button, and don't forget to feed the dragon. Let's get into tonight's action. All right. Our recap, episode 49, Vanishing Act. This is the down and dirty from last week. The party was able to rescue all of the inhabitants of the Stag and Doe, which is the headquarters of the Order of the Khan, slaying most and leaving the rest to scatter to the wind. A down Dante takes a second death saving throw before eventually being helped up by our friendly neighborhood cleric and his bags of trickery and tools, I would say. Sure, why not? As Ziri, the Khan, tries to escape, Abria eventually catches up to him and ends him. Once Camiel catches up to Ziri, and finding out that he is already down, she is enraged that she was not able to end the slaver herself and began a process of rage-fueled identity, questioning many things. Davin, the girlfriend or love interest of Max, talks to the group about helping them get to where Max had promised to take them, as Max himself is assumed to have looted the Khan's private safe during this conversation, leaving it completely empty and leaving him gone in the process, missing. As we leave the party, they begin to rest and recoup, knowing that they need to be able to kind of take a breath in this place for just a moment. Before you guys rest, is there anything that you guys want to do this evening before we move on to the next day?
Boltzmann,
Bran will try. Oh, go ahead.
no. Boltzmann, as usual, before heading off to whatever room he'd call his own, he'd beckon everybody for weapons and armor, please. You know, just asking them to give him their, as usual, weapons and armor for repair as he heads off.
Magical armor. All good, thanks, Boltzmann. Thanks
then
you.
he just,
Actually, that was for you. Thank you. Gives him a pat
and
on
then
the
he just
ass.
looked towards Bran and Cameo.
Bran, of course, doffs his armor and slips into something more comfortable for the what is this? The inn?
The Stag and Doe.
Yeah, the Stag and Doe. He will also.
You're naked. You're naked,
I
aren't you? Full
fucking
play,
knew
right?
it. Fucking knew it.
Oh, we're at that level of comfort, are we? It's
Bran
hard
will
being
also
daddy.
give his warhammer. He will also hand over his weapons, his shield, and basically anything else that can be repaired or I guess patched up by Boltzmann.
Surprisingly enough, yeah, at this point, Boltzmann, you'd think that with Boltzmann's size, he'd have a hard time carrying all of that. But then it's probably at this point he's gotten used to handling this sort of stuff, and he's just hefting all of it
I mean, he's
towards
not dropping it on your
yeah,
arms.
exactly. That too, you know. He's just walking towards a room that he has not blown up during the assault, and you know,
It's not on fire.
that was not on fire or has what Gibbs of the of whatever guards or
Brains
whatever
and viscera.
thugs. Yeah, but yeah, he's gonna take it there, and I'm assuming Camille. Yeah, Camille was gonna say something as well.
Camille is actually she'll think about it for a moment. She's still wearing her armor. She'll think about it for a moment. She looks down at what used to be white armor, now just coated in unfortunate owl bear blood, and she'll look at Boltzmann and she'll basically say, "No, it's fine. I'll take care of this myself. Thank you." And she'll kind of she'll just.
Boltzmann is gonna like eye you, you know, from top to bottom. All right, Camille. If ever you do need anything, please don't be afraid to just tell me. All right.
And she gives a soft smile and nods. Of course. It seems like you've got your hands full with Branimir's armor, so I'll think about it.
Boltzmann waves at that notion away. Boltzmann, God, Bransama is. I've already gotten used to it. It's gonna take just less than an hour. All of this.
Oh, you work fast.
It's months of. I mean, I've been doing the same thing practically every night for the past how many months again? But I digress. Anyways, I'll just. He like vaguely gestures towards the room that he's chosen. I'll just, you know. Good night, Camille.
Good night, Boltzmann. And she'll trot towards her own designated room.
Bran will also try his hand at making some food for tonight, taking advantage of the proper cooking area.
Okay.
It's a
What
whole
do
lot
you
of
make?
bugbear to eat.
Let's see here. No, I want to actually get through this cookbook. God damn it. What haven't I done yet? There we go. Let's go for some Amiens potato dumplings in brown butter sauce. Go for that.
I'm hungry again.
All right, go ahead and roll for that.
All right. Where's my cooking? Where's my cooking? Oh, there it is. Hey, nice.
Yeah. So you were able to take advantage of the kitchen that's
Got it.
there. Yeah, you're able to take advantage of the kitchen. There's actually a staff member, one of the few men that have stayed on. That was just a staff member, not part of the con. That was just a hired hand. That was with the girls when they kind of ran off and kind of stayed there. And he actually is able to help you a little bit and kind of gives you some of the ingredients that they had and shows you where everything was hidden at. And helps you do that. And you're able to, take everything out to the bar and serve all of the party, but also everyone there that something unique for them, being not common.
And Bran will eventually take out a few bowls and maybe serve some of the meals for anybody who is willing to come out of their rooms. If they don't, Bran will eventually take the bowls to their rooms, whether they like it or not.
Yo, dude. Anyways, no, Boltzmann smelling that. Uh, no need to force your dumpling on me, sir. Oh God, what
Getting
is
it there.
wrong with me?
Stop
You got
shoving
brown-
your
No!
bowl in my face.
Yo, that's not good. Anyways,
t-shirt.
Boltzmann smelling. He know Brent's cooking. He'd take a bit of time to get out of his hidey hole and go out towards the. I'm assuming that Brand's just gonna put the food over by the, what do you call it, like the bar. I mean, what's it called?
Yeah,
Like
like
bar
I
counter?
guess the bar counter. I
Counter, yeah.
suppose.
Yeah, he's Boltzmann's gonna go there. He's gonna look at Bran. That nod of acknowledgement. Wordlessly, he just takes a bowl.
A big bright smile on his face, very happy with the result of his the
Yeah,
brown butter sauce.
not yeah. Boltzmann seeing this, he knows art when he sees it. And that bowl over there, this is art. Then he's just gonna take a bite. You can see that there's from Boltzmann's tired face. There's a small smile creeping up in his face. He nods. He just, walks back towards his room.
Finally, a smile.
You just hear the door like closing.
I think I was
Who's
there
next?
making witty remarks at your expense. I'm not
What's
there.
Dante doing? What's Dante doing during this?
Dante's outside. He's sort of canvassing the woodland area, trying to. He's not a tracker, so he's sort of just hanging out and trying to think like douchebag and where he would go. I feel like he's and Dante, he just sort of assumes that he's run off towards the village where his girlfriend lives.
I will give you a survival check with advantage because I'll have Saoirse join you in that. Kind of setting a perimeter once. Setting up a perimeter, but also now seeing that Max has gone off yet again, she'll be out there with you. So I'll give you a survival check with advantage.
He won't just ask said girlfriend potentially where he might have gone.
Well, you ran off the other side looking for him, so I remember that from last week.
Did she go out?
Yeah,
Did she go?
I went off reloading my pistol, and you ran off the other way.
Gotcha.
All right, that's a 10.
Yeah, you look around, and even with Saoirse's help, it's dark, it's late. There's been signs of lots of people running away from this place. The girls, random people, plus just the daily traffic that's around this on a fairly busy street. So seeing nothing specific, it's very hard to go on anything. As you're out there, you guys kind of go your separate ways and then kind of meet back. Saoirse kind of comes up to you and goes, I don't know if it's worth it, but I might have a lead on Max, if that's something we want to do. The money he took could set these ladies up for a long while.
Well, I really think he's gone ahead of us to this village. Oh, he's a two-faced son of a bitch. And he just sort of raises his gun and just fires it off into the woods in frustration. I'm going to beat the living shit out of him, Saoirse.
Well, from what I heard, Powers was an alias. Van Melda was his real name. Khan seemed to think that held some weight, or at least the fact that Khan knew held some weight or held something over his head. Does that ring a bell? Do you think it's something worth searching for?
Of course not, Saoirse. I don't know much of anything about Max.
Roll a deception.
He says that with a straight face as well. Deception.
Yep.
Wow, I rolled a 1. I got 12.
You have a plus.
Yikes.
You have a plus
Damn.
11.
Oh my
God
god.
damn.
Damn. The
Liar,
hell?
liar, pants on fire.
Wow.
What? What are you
Wow.
looking at?
Lair pants on fire. It's still pretty goddamn convincing.
This is like a twitch in his face when he says that. He's just trying to keep a straight face, but he keeps glancing off into the woodland. Clearly.
Saoirse looks at you and doesn't say anything. Does kind of twist her head just a tad.
I don't want to talk about it, Sosha. He just immediately gets defensive because you can see it. He's just like, I just trust me, Sosha. Just trust me. I beat her roll. What?
I rolled for Saoirse.
Oh, what'd she get? Did she get less than 12?
I rolled a 10.
Oh, okay. Well, then he won't have that outburst, and it's just a little twitch on his face as he sort of looks away. Is probably the best he'll get. The giveaway he'll get whatever.
Abria said that she would be back. Before we go anywhere, why don't we take a few days here? We've been moving so much, we need to rest. Wait for Abria, wait for the broken chain. Need to see if any of Khan's men show up looking for trouble.
Quite likely. Probably going to happen. Assuming someone was off hustling people. Probably collecting taxes, as they say. Hopefully we won't get a visit from a certain dragon, but maybe it'd be good if we did.
Maybe better here than there, but still not something I'm looking forward to.
Saoirse, I know you want to take down a dragon.
It's on my to-do list.
Anyway, let's go get something to eat. I think Brand's outdoing himself again.
Yep, and you guys walk back inside. Join the rest of the peoples. What's Daven doing?
I think after what everyone had said and all these claims about Max and he's gone again, poof and whatever, she's kind of organizing the ladies that remained. She's talking to them. They have, in fact, she no longer has that money pouch. For what it's worth, nobody else. They all still probably think she does. She does not, in fact, have the money purse anymore. She has distributed that money amongst the girls, and she's talking to them about certain matters of, what to do with the space. But I think she's just kind of being very cautious. She'll join the others eventually. I think after running around to see what the heck that gunshot was. Oh wait, would that not happen?
That happened.
Oh, it did. But probably did not find anything other than just seeing briefly an upset Dante and Saoirse. Yeah. But no one's dead. No one's additionally dead anyway, so she would probably join the others. But she's not bringing up the village again unless they were bringing up the village again. She's brought it up twice. And was kind of hinting that, how they're behaving, how they're responding is not what they're going to want to see at the village. But she's going to continue with any lighthearted, jovial conversation, talking to the ladies again, even mentioning to the others while they eat ideas she's dreamed up of what to do with this place to make it not so ugly in its use the way it's been used. But she'll in general just join the conversation and be, if not too kind, then just genial. Like, potentially clearly considering what she's been told about Max.
Hey, Bran. Bran.
Sorry, spaced out. I thought you said Bren.
Oh, Bran.
I did mention we have a Bran, a Bren, and a Bryn, right?
Did you make a lot? How much food do we have? Is there enough for everybody?
Moose did say that it was able to feed the party and possibly the other girls in the Stag and Doe.
So can Davin let the girls know that they can come and help themselves, or we can serve them up if they like? They've been in a bit of a rough patch here.
Yeah, it was brought out to the bar, so everyone in the bar area was let know.
I think they were one of the first to get served, actually.
I don't remember you saying that because I wasn't here, so I'm sorry. Thank you for putting me in my place, Bran. No, Dante will just, when he comes back in, he'll grab food. He'll listen to Davin and help the girls, like hand out the stuff to the girls, the food. He's it's a bit of a rough situation, so he clearly has a soft spot for this whole situation, and is making sure everyone is okay and as they can be after the fight.
So seeing as everyone is being fed, except for one person, Bran will scrunch his nose up a little bit, make a face visibly on the bar counter. He'll kind of lean his weight against it, kind of wrapping his fingers against the wood, and then he'll look over in the direction of, or I guess Camiel retired to. He'll eventually huff, pick up a bowl, and march over to her door. And he'll start, like, as gently as the man can, wrap his knuckles against the door.
Yeah, she'll call out and say, it's open. You can come in if you'd like.
And in hearing that, Bran will have the bowl out in one hand, but he'll also hide something with his other hand behind his back.
What?
As he enters.
Oh no!
It's one of Boltzmann's bombs.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Cam, at this point, I'd just like to just jump to the conclusion that there's probably a bath there at the Stag and Doe. Obviously, it's a brothel.
Ish, yeah.
Yeah. So she had just washed up, and she is clothed. And she's just trying to finger comb through her hair. And she looks up at Branimir, and looks at the bowl. Oh, dinner, I suppose.
Suppose?
Is it, orange turnips?
Well, funny that you should mention that.
No.
And Bran actually pulls out what he was hiding behind his back. And knowing her weird love for orange turnips, as it were, like as she would call them, he hands over an orange turnip and a bowl of the amazing meal that he has crafted.
Oh, thank you. And she'll reach out and grab the carrot. That's basically the orange turnip. And a bowl. And she'll look at both of them, like trying to figure out which one she would eat first. She puts the bowl down first and she eats the carrot. And then just chomps away.
Brown butter sauce.
What?
Brown butter sauce.
Oh, well, I do love the orange turnips more. And she says that a little quietly, like holding on to the carrot.
There's like an odd flash in Bran's eyes as she mentions that she would rather have just the plain carrot instead of the meal. But he quickly dismisses it. And would I have to roll? I don't know what kind of roll, like a perception check, in order to tell how she's doing, DM, like how she's holding up.
Insight.
Insight. Okay. I do that.
Yeah. What specifically are you looking for?
Basically, he's just trying to get a read on her, on like how she's holding up, considering the last time he saw her, she was kind of.
Yeah. Based on your last
Yeah.
conversation, yeah, you're just worried about her. Just roll a
Yeah.
general insight.
Insight.
Yeah.
Okay. Insight.
Oh,
It's a 23.
Jesus. Fucking hell.
Yeah, you can. you can explain how you're presenting yourself, but then if you want to roll a deception or if you're just being obvious with your feelings, either way. Or you can just say it.
Well, she's very comfortable with Branimir, considering that he has seen her in her rage and has respected her so much. I don't think she would try to be deceptive at all. So she's on her bed and she's basically like in a corner, like she has put herself in a corner. And she's got her legs tucked to her chest with just both hands just holding onto this carrot. And I suppose Branimir would notice that she's a little more, what's the word, recluse? Like she has clammed up, and she, in this big room, I would think that it's a bigger room, it's a medium-sized room. She seems very small in a corner.
So yeah, so that is all apparently clear to Bran.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
Not gonna roll a deception check.
No.
No, she said she was
Okay.
presenting.
All right. Well, in that case, I guess Bran would. I guess he would make a gesture to turn and leave, but he would stop halfway, kind of look back at her.
And she'll smile.
Gonna be all right, Cam.
But I'm fine. Just a little shaken up is all. I do appreciate the food. Maybe I'm just hungry.
Be sure to dip some of that orange turnip in the brown butter sauce.
And she she wrinkles her nose. I'll think about it. Thank you, Bran.
It's good, Cam.
I'm sure it is. I never
First time I
questioned your
did it.
cooking.
First time. He is visibly very proud of himself for pulling it off for the first time.
And she just to show her gratitude, she'll raise both her brows and then slowly put the carrot into the food itself, the stew, and slowly just bite at the carrot with a loud crunch and go, it's great.
Yeah, Bran will. He's not one to really press on topics like this, so he'll take that as a sign to leave. He'll smile in her direction, and then he'll duck his way out of the room.
All right. And she'll just watch as he leaves.
Are you doing anything else this evening, Ken?
No, she'll just finish eating her food and happily eat the bowl, which she enjoys thoroughly. Thank you, Bran. And after wrestling with her dumb hair, I think she'll just turn in for the night, or try to turn in. There is a forest outside, correct?
Yep.
Okay, I think at a certain time in the evening, she'll be staring at her armor, at the white armor. It's basically very unorganized on the floor. She has no care for the armor, obviously. She's not like Boltzmann or Branimir or Dante or Saoirse. So it's just a mountain of this white armor that she has tried very hard to clean. And she'll just stare at it for a long time while trying to get some shut eye. But sometime maybe later in the evening, she'll take the armor and she will not to sneak out through a window. I don't think that she'll be able to do that. She'll just walk out and go into the forest if DM will allow it.
Okay. And your plan is to find a spot in the forest and rest?
Yes. She will rest. Try to rest.
So as you're laying in the bed and not finding yourself comfortable, partly because of the adrenaline of the fight, but more than that, the crisis of identity, this rage versus what you used to be, still boiling within you. Being here back in Ujat, you're dealing with the same thing that you dealt with 20 years ago, fighting the same fight, and it has you feeling very much out of sorts.
Mm-hmm.
The innocence you lost seems so far and so distant. The creatures that frolicked and play in the forest is now this hardened shell with less connection to what she was than she has ever been. You find a comfortable spot in the forest, your armor in tow. You close your eyes and your subconscious takes over. You begin to soar straight up into the night sky. You feel a rush of freedom come over you. The brisk, thin air over the clouds gives you focus, gives you purpose, and you shoot off westward. In the distance, you see familiar location, 4 temples. Four temples, pyramids, one larger center temple with light pouring out of its top, and 3 smaller pyramids, each with their own respective hue, one being the home of your patron, Sister Ava. You push through mentally as you are instantly in the interior chamber of Sister Eva. Bright, warm light surrounds you. You know where you are not from sight, but from feeling. A different smell, a different pressure, a different wavelength of the air surrounding you. You open your eyes to the stark white chamber, and the goddess, Sister Eva, in feminine form, now leaning against you, 3 or 4 times your size, her eyes bright and gold as she looks compassionately at you. My nightingale, my champion, welcome home.
Camiel will look up at Sister Ava, and to her, Sister Ava looks a little more different. Perhaps because it has been too long since the last time they have spoken. And as soon as Sister Ava speaks, Camiel takes a few steps back and gives her a bow. Sister Ava, it has been a long time since we have spoken.
You don't think to see me unless your mind is troubled, child. Tell me. Tell me what your heart is, so I can make my nightingale whole.
Camille looks up. And normally, she would be a little happier to be in such a safe space. But, of course, she can't really lie to Sister Ava, the goddess herself. She's a little more honest as her face goes from that of usual concern and holding back on thoughts. There's a fierceness to her eyes when she looks at Sister Ava. And she says, Sister Ava, I've been thinking of the proper times to call upon you for an audience. Now, I believe, is the right time. When the night sky had brought me a message of a lone star beyond the horizon that only I could see, I followed it to a mirage in the middle of an ocean of sand. It became a sanctuary when I had abandoned my old home, and in your embrace I had been given purpose. I was young in mind, hopeful, and I was more than happy to serve in your name and fight and decide many were too scared to fight for. The truth is, behind this armor that you've protected me with, I too was scared. Not of death and not of mine enemies, but of what I truly am. An Azamar, born from fire as I passed your challenges and your trials to be your chosen champion. But I am no longer afraid. I must be better, not only for your name, but also for my companions whom had time and time again laid their life on the line. And if I was to be better, I find it a must to stop pretending that I'm as pure as the white you've armored me in. Unfortunately, through the moons that had passed, I have outgrown this armor. It no longer fits me. I ask that I be provided with one more suiting to me, as I swear upon you my strength and fealty, that your name be looked upon with love as well as respect. I wish not only to be your champion, or one to be the voice for the innocent. I wish to be your hand that can comfort and crush without the feeling of guilt.
There's a long pause. And you see Sister Ava, for one of the first times, break her gaze from you. Just for a moment, processing, analyzing, reading you. When you were reborn, my champion, you were given an armor that I deemed fit for a beacon of life, a protector that the people need not be afraid of. My representative first and foremost, and my warrior second. But now is a time of war. I agree. I no longer need a protector. I need a warrior. I need a killer of evil and a slayer of darkness. Because if you're not those things, you will not survive.
Camille was expecting the worst because she understood that if she was to bring her concerns and, well, for lack of a better term, a demand to the goddess herself, one of two things could have happened. She could have been turned down and cast away, or Sister Ava would have completely understood where she was coming from and accepted. And hearing that such strong words were used by her patron, Camiel would go down on one knee and keep her head bowed, as if in thanks. When I first became your champion, I was torn. But I no longer wish to deny who I am. In your name, I would do great things, no matter how dark it may turn out to be.
In my name, you've already done great things. There's a heaviness. There is a toll that this will take on you. I know you feel the obligation, the weight that I'm pressing upon you. But what is inscribed in your heart, Kemia? Is it freedom? Is it growth? Is it focused rage? Something else?
Camiel thinks for a moment before she says very strongly, all of which you have spoken of is what is in my heart. I do not need to choose.
But choose you must. I do not want you overwhelmed by a duty that you are suited for, that you are destined for, that you were lifted from your position for. Because a warrior is nothing without their heart. Their anger, their rage will aid in their fight, but it will corrupt the soul. Anger will only lead to empty valor. It will leave you a husk. And after the task is complete, no matter how important that task, you will drift on the wind without rhyme or reason. She turns her back to you. Beyond you is two choices. And you look ahead, and in the once empty white chamber, there are now two items. The first, a full-size mannequin, one that can hold a suit of armor, but it is empty. Next to it, 5 feet away, on an identical mannequin, is a full set of armor. It is steel gray with gold accents. There's a dark green-gray cloak that comes together in front with a large symbol of Sister Eva. And between the two stands a door. A white frame with soft green energy emitting from within. It is true. When you were reborn my champion, you were given that armor. And it served its purpose. But what I'm asking for now is not fair. It is not unfair. It is unfair because if you don that armor, it will transform you for me again. You will have to kill the spark in you that was once this pure and innocent being. And as she says that, from the doorway, you see old memories playing like a recording. Dancing naked in the moonlight, a small Azamar, howling at the wind, playing nonsense games in the forest. Sister Eva turns back to you, and you can tell her face is almost remorseful. I'm afraid this is your only chance to return. Once you go forward, you will be forever changed. After you remove your beacon armor, the choice is yours. If you walk through that portal, you will be brought back to the forest. Your body will transform to what it was. All memories before you first found man will be removed. All responsibility, all pain, all suffering will be as it never was. If you choose to go forward with me, if you don this new armor, the power that I give you will increase, but only to match the obstacles that you currently face. If you don that new armor, you will be too far removed to ever go back to the way you were.
God.
Seeing that you are dumbfounded, Sister Eva, who has been keeping her ground as you stepped away to bow, draws close to you. She draws you in for an embrace. I cannot force the sacrifice from you. It must be freely given. She kisses you on the forehead, and you can feel its energy wash over you like tingles up and down your spine. You close your eyes at this warmth. There is no disappointment, there is no judgment. This is simply the mercy I owe you for your years of service and dedication to me. Today, no matter your choice, make your decision freely and with my full approval. She lets go of her hug, and as she does, the feeling lingers for a moment. And when you open your eyes fully, she is no longer in the room. You were there with only the 2 armor stands and the portal. And that is where we were going to take our first break.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Yeesh.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, I was just
We're going to take our first break.
Cartridge
Oh.
ladies, but
We've probably gone a little bit more than 10 minutes because I have to go do something really quick, but we will be back in about 10-15 minutes. So come back and let's see what happens, shall we?
Ooh. All right.
Right back.
Hey.
All right. So when we last left our hero, standing in the middle of Sister Eva's temple, Sister Eva gives Camiel not so much an ultimatum, but a choice. A choice of realization of identity. One that says, giving her the option of freedom. Being free of Sister Eva, being free of the responsibility of being a paladin, going back to her natural form, her natural ability, her natural fun and unresponsible life of her being her Azamar, being able to give the chance to restart, or moving forward in her progression, changing from what she was to at first a paladin, and then the champion and beacon, and now moving forward a warrior of Sister Eva. And as Camiel is standing there, she gets an embrace from Sister Eva. As Sister Eva fades away, and you open your eyes, you are left in this empty chamber with those choices. What do you do, Kim?
Well, Camiel at first just stares at where Sister Eva was. And then she looks at the choices that she has. She slowly moves towards the door and towards the two mannequins. She's staring longingly at the door. And I can only imagine it to have sound of laughter and the breeze and many bird sounds. And it's very familiar to her. She's just staring at it. Almost maybe a little too long. As she keeps thinking about the choice that she has to make. In her heart, this door is not even a choice. So she takes a step back from the door. She realizes that this is something that she had wanted before. But at this point, she understands that she cannot just turn her back from the fate that was given to her. She can't turn her back on everyone. Saoirse, Dante, Bran, Boltzmann, and Emmy. She understands why Sister Ava has given her that choice, because Camiel has had issues of identity and wanting to just be a child. Completely forget about everything that has happened, that has completely changed her life. But she knows that there's no way that that's ever going to happen. She looks at the empty mannequin. And I'm just going to assume she's probably wearing that white armor. Yes, she is. And she looks down at the armor that she's wearing. And she looks at her gauntlets.
It's still stained by blood.
Yeah.
Your last fight. Even though in this place it's always been gleaming, it's now tarnished.
Mm-hmm. And she does see all of the stains from all of the fighting and the little dents. And even though, well, in this realm, it is forever marked upon the armor. She had loved the armor the moment it was given to her by Sister Ava. But she understands that this armor has pushed her just a little bit forward, but not towards the direction she wanted. Like she said, it no longer suits her. And so she walks towards the empty mannequin and slowly starts removing the armor and puts it onto the empty mannequin, looking at it one last time. And she knows that the reason she's choosing to leave this behind is because she knows that this armor, no matter how beautiful it is, it no longer represents her. And as Sister Ava has clarified, she does not need a protector anymore. The white signifies so much of purity and more of an empty canvas. And after what had occurred, she does not see herself as an empty canvas anymore. And as she walks away from this white armor, she looks towards the steel gray one. And it's calling to her almost in familiarity. And she walks towards it. And slowly begins to put it on. It is... I'd like to think that this is a very selfish choice for her. But at the same time, it isn't. Because she understands with this new armor, she's becoming something she wants to be. For the first time ever since she left Sladir Forest. And this is something that is needed right now. And she did feel like the white armor she was not deserving of it. And so as she completes this, as she dons this new armor, she closes her eyes, takes a deep breath, and caresses the steel gray armor, and throws over this black, really dark cape with the golden wings, and proudly pins it down with that golden pin with the E for Sister Ava. She's ready to move forward now. There's no going back. There's no standing still. To her, this is forward.
And as you put on this armor, you feel a sense of familiarity. You feel the sense, you feel stronger. You feel more prepared. And as you make that final tuck of this fabrics, pulling it tight, this seeming much more like a uniform, this seeming much more like a uniform of service. You caress your hand over the E. Shut your eyes again. And when you open them, you look up. You look up to Nujat sky, very familiar to you. The stars right where they should be. The trees that smell so familiar, so much like home. With your new armor, still sitting in the tree. Just there.
Camiel heaves a huge sigh of relief, as if, and it's almost as if the white armor was a huge burden. It felt so heavy up to that point where she had completely snapped just a few hours ago. And with it being released, it's like a huge weight was just lifted off of her. She finally feels like she knows what she needs to do. That she no longer has to feel guilt about any choices that she has to make. And that this was the choice that was perfect for her in the moment. So she looks at this armor and she picks it up very lovingly and looks up at the sky, whispering a very soft thank you to Sister Ava before moving back to the Stag and Doe and to her room, where she will respectfully put the armor aside and get on the bed, tuck herself in, and close her eyes to sleep.
And as you do, you have dreams. Your memory is filled with those innocent times still. And although you could never return to those, they're still with you. You still carry it forward. You still carry forward that innocence, which is why you still need to protect it. Which is why this purpose is so great. Which is why this is so meaningful to you. Which is why you were willing to sacrifice. And with that, everyone is able to complete a long rest. stacking dough. All right, we didn't lose Cam. Good job, everybody.
Yay! That wasn't even an option.
Shush.
Fucking hope so.
If we did, well, walking out of this campaign is always an option, right, guys?
No,
That would have
Botsman,
been.
no.
Let's have
TPK.
a New Vegas,
Yeah,
New
yeah.
Vegas outro. Boltzmann went back to the Mojave,
Never to be seen again.
developing
people
more
did.
Bonavi, fight against the Shadow Queen.
They lost.
They lost.
Before anything, I just want to say thank you, Moose, for giving me this opportunity and this chance to actually change armor. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Remind
Yeah,
me never
you-
to
I
give
think
a
you,
reskin armor.
All right, everybody's eventually gonna have their reskins.
It's-
you know,
no,
it's
it's
DLC.
only
When do I
aesthetic.
get
It's
my
only
when do I
aesthetic.
get my purple like glowing trimmed?
I
It's
want a
part of
reskin.
storytelling, guys.
And you get
Character
your
Ooh,
design
Ultramarine
is
armor.
storytelling.
I might get a literal reskin, but we'll talk about that later. I said nothing.
Anyways,
All right. Where are we at? I will also say that all of you, when you awaken, you feel a little different, having gone through all this. So next time we play, you guys will be at the next level.
yeah, baby,
You should have saved that enough time.
yeah, baby. That's what I was waiting for. God.
All right. But that'll be next session.
Sure, I've got reliable talent next. It could be useful for us right now. So, sure you don't want to do it right now?
No, we'll do it next time we play.
Damn it.
As you guys awaken, feeling a new strength and vigor. You guys all make it downstairs, and
Oh, I slept downstairs, by the way. Sorry.
Downstairs?
Yeah.
There's a second
well, there
floor?
is no downstairs. I'm sorry, it's all one
Yeah.
floor.
Oh, there you go.
Anyway,
I slept out. I slept in front of the fire near the fireplace.
Brad, as you make your way out from your room, you get a message. New allies are moving towards Bloomer Spring. Information about the Illithids will be relayed to you soon.
Yes.
Emmy is okay. Fascinated by the process here. Back soon.
I do believe it is. Is it free to respond?
Yep.
Yeah. It still has a requirement of 20 words.
25.
25. Gotcha. Bran will, I guess, confirm. Understood, Weiss. Allies. He'll kind of ask as a question. What the Amun military?
Anything else?
Oh, that's pretty much it.
You do not get a reply from him.
Ouch,
Yeah,
ghosted.
well,
It's a spell slot.
I heard
He's busy. Can't use a spell slot like that.
I heard that.
Let you know what's up. All right. So as you guys make your way out and amongst the people again, you notice a kind of a returning, especially David. You find a kind of returning to old ways a little bit. They begin without the burdens of the cons, beginning to take ownership of this place of themselves, the girls, and start cleaning. And you're definitely part of that group that kind of begins to hand out tasks and keep things begin to get organized. But the day is yours. What would you guys like to do today?
First and foremost, Boltzmann is going to go into. I'm assuming that we're just turning the main bar area into the common room. Boltzmann's just gonna go out there. The what do you call it? Warhammer and armor pieces for Bran, along with what do you call it? Along with the bowl of the bowl that he took to his room from last night. He's gonna set it down, and just present it to the local cleric.
Fine work, Boltzmann. Says as he examines the Warhammer again, kind of gets the feel of it, a la Thor style, kind of like spins it around.
It's as usual. It is indeed not sharp, sturdy and shiny. And though he, as usual, he still intentionally leaves the the battle scars on the weapons and the weapon and armor. And yeah, as you tell him that, fine work, and Boltzmann smiles a bit. He also gestures towards the empty bowl, and that was some fine food last night. Good stuff. And
You sure you didn't train with the dwarves?
you mentioned that, Brad. You sure you didn't train with dwarves? You mentioned that. He gives you a
Let's
look.
not generalize.
Yes, Bran, I did train with a dwarf in that dwarf tent. You know the story. But anyways.
Oh my god.
So I said, let's not generalize. Just because one did it doesn't mean all of them.
He just cops to like cut out the topic. Anyways, it's for breakfast. And where is everybody else? And wait, Bran, did you hear a gunshot last night? Or something like that? Maybe I was imagining things.
Did we, DM? Were we able to?
Some of you would have. Saoirse probably would have kind of
Absolutely.
quelled
But she was
everyone's
there.
fears about that.
She was there.
Yeah,
she
she
would
was
have
there.
quelled
Yeah.
everyone's fears that it was just Dante letting off some steam.
In Dante
Yeah.
fashion.
Yeah.
Yeah, the mention of a gunshot, he just quickly glances towards Dante.
He's
A waste of gunpowder.
He's still laying sort of next to the fire, his blanket up and his hat over his face. Cowboy Wild West style.
I don't suppose we have any more black powder, do we?
Boltzmann just shakes his head. Used up the last of it. God, English.
Got
Except
plenty
the
of
last of it.
bullets, Bran.
Oh, you're awake.
Plenty of bullets, but not enough black powder.
The powder's in the bullets, Bran.
In the bullets. And Brand kind of turns to Boltzmann.
Boltzmann nods. New innovation. We don't use separate things. But let's not talk about that.
Fucking hell.
They called you old, Bran, just so you know.
Camiel there. Is Camiel there? as
No,
well?
Camiel is on her way
Oh.
down. So
okay.
as she's making her way down, her hair is like up in that very strict braid. I don't know if she'd be donning the armor just yet.
It's not early in the morning.
Yeah, but it's up in a neat little braid, and
Just come
she's
on.
more poised.
For some odd reason, Boltzmann feels a bit more I wouldn't say energetic, but he feels some energy right now. He has a strange amount of energy in him right now.
Strange film.
Now, yeah, probably the dumplings from last night. But
Get that.
then anyways, Boltzmann just looks around, sees everybody else around the room, and he is looking at Bran, and then quick eyes towards the empty bowl, he asks, "You still have a bit of... So, what's for breakfast?"
Would you say, DM, that there would be some leftovers, considering there is
Yeah, there
the
was
rest of
some
the girls haven't
leftover,
been fed.
especially some of the sauce and some of the not enough for a complete meal, but some of the sauce. And then there is a kitchen help that was helping you last night. He did make eggs, and has plenty of eggs for everyone. Has brought that out and put that on the bar, and then proceeded to start chopping into this owlbear and taking part of the meat and putting it into the kitchen stocks, and kind of, I've already run out of space and starting to look around the place for places to be able to put it.
Oh my god.
This is like RimWorld. It's like RimWorld, God.
We gotta have a proper fucking butchering area for that.
How are you gonna haul this 900-pound beast out of the middle of the bar?
Well, if Bran can wrestle a goddamn T-Rex to the ground, I think he can haul a corpse.
How heavy is the
Owlbear?
Owlbear,
Yeah, it's like 900 pounds.
Because our dragging weight is
wings.
a lot.
That's a lot of dead weight.
That's
literally
We can
and-
drag a
and
lot more
otherwise.
than we can carry. So
Boltzmann just needs to give him a, what is that,
Get to the
enlarged
door
person.
as well.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know.
For
Probably
fuck's
shrink.
Sakes.
Could probably shrink. Make it
Boltzmann has
easier. Shrink
enlarge,
the...
reduce.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
works.
reduce
Wait, does that work
the
on a corpse?
Aren't we eating it?
Yeah. A corpse is an object. So I
Not
don't know,
900
dude.
pounds today.
Yeah.
They're
DM.
squats.
I'm sorry for derailing this campaign. But hot question. An important question. Are corpses
As-
considered as objects?
I mean, if we can fit black powder in the bullets themselves, why not?
It's just paper, Bran. God, they wrap the paper, the bullet around the paper.
You got him mad.
It's not a metal casing. It's just paper, woods with the bullet.
I cast glop. Oh,
Logic
this
of
is
the
not
previous firearms we've been using.
innovation, Bran.
He told me that's
Innovation.
what it
The
was when he
future
gave
is
it to
now,
me.
old man.
Last minute innovations.
No, that's what he told me it was when he gave it to me like 20 weeks,
Yeah.
20 months ago.
Oh my god.
20 months.
What is 20 months?
Okay, this session is now officially turned into actually.
Actually.
Anyways, yes. We'll talk more about that after the game, I guess. Keep the mics
Either
on.
way,
after session.
the kitchen help is still hacking up the owlbear in the middle because he doesn't have access to shrinking or growing, so he's just hacking up the owlbear and
That's the
putting the
way.
meat places.
Camille will
Properly.
actually, like, as she is fixing herself a little bit and she's making sure that every strand is tucked into her braid, she walks up to the person butchering it and she looks at the corpse, like eyeing it, and looks at the person and is like, "Do you need any help with that?"
Oh no, ma'am, I have it, no problem.
That's a lot of meat.
It is trying to find places to put it now.
I mean, it would do you good to sell. It's good business.
Yes, very much so, very much so.
Right. I'm gonna go because this is a strange conversation. Good morning to you, then. And she kind of like saunters over to everyone else. Right. Good morning, bright and early. Dante, you have a shirt on that's new.
Well, I'm not trying to impress anyone, Camille, so it's okay.
Oh, you don't have to try. You're already very impressive.
I know. I climbed that thing last night.
Yeah, I lied.
Sorry.
She said I lied. She gives him a wink.
I always impress people.
It's like a number of the
So-
girls are like eyeing Dante as he comes down.
No, he didn't try anything on any of the girls last night. He was just
Oh,
doing
wow.
some card tricks and stuff.
Oh no,
and-
no,
and
no!
trying
I
to
don't mean like
entertain them.
eyeing him like
Oh no, you
not
know
like
they were.
oh
You know
dang
they
it,
were.
more
Don't worry,
like
they
oh
were.
yeah he is He is impressive.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what he was trying not. He wasn't purposefully making them sweat for him.
Oh dear.
Maybe it doesn't
Okay.
have to. Maybe he's just not impressive.
On and on like a light switch.
Oh, I see.
Piece of
Can we
meat to you.
a piece of meat? Nothing but a piece of might. She's going to Camille's going to look at everyone else and look at Bran. And it's like, so what's the plan for today?
Bran will match Cameo's gaze and maybe he'll sense like I don't know if you want me to roll for that DM, but maybe he can sense that there's something a little off about her demeanor today. Like it's unusual.
You're used to an unkempt Cameo, so even just the braids would be enough that something's a little different. It's not like you've never seen her do that, but the clean lines and things are a little different.
Yeah, so Bran will kind of meet her gaze. He'll squint his eyes a little bit, as if in silent question. But he'll raise his tin of coffee to his lips, and he'll explain to the rest of the group, now that they've all been gathered, Whise's message about Bloomer Springs being handled by a mysterious group of allies. And that's all he'll relay. He doesn't exactly have a agenda for today, depending on how badly Dante is recovering or how Saoirse's doing.
I'm fine.
Saoirse will relay the fact that she suggests waiting for the broken chain to come, because Abria was going back to get help and send more people to make sure the place was still protected after they left.
It makes sense, considering that any of these, and points to a blood splatter, any of these could turn up as soon as we leave. So best to make sure everything's okay.
Evan certainly not going to disagree to any additional help and additional protection for the place.
So
She
when
does
we
suggest
find-
you might want to. Oh, sorry.
No. Go ahead.
She does suggest, as everyone's kind of settling in and meandering about, that they might want to prepare for travel. If she reminds them, if that is what you plan to do, where you plan to go. Oh, you're all seasoned adventurers. I'm sure you know what to do.
Indeed, we do. I'm sure we're going to take you up on your offer, if that's still valid, to go see your people, or the people you stay with. We need
It
information.
certainly could be. Oh, yes, you do.
We need to find this.
She kind of laughs a little.
Unfortunately, a lot more than just, a lot more rides on it. If we are to find the artifact, we need your help.
What exactly are you looking for? Okay, what briefly are you looking for?
Something to help us in the fight against evil.
We don't
Ooh,
even
sounds
know
ominous.
what we're looking for, to be fair. We're simply looking for the Temple of the Maker, and we'll figure it out as we go.
You do have the notes from King Orc.
Aye, that's right!
You do know that it's a
Notes.
shroud,
Uh,
but it's up to you how much you share.
Also, good point.
Well, we're looking for something, and we'll know once we get there. We'll know what it is. There will be information, hopefully, or signs pointing us in the right direction. All we know is that we have to find it. It's part of it's part of what we have to do. There's a darkness growing in Atrium, and it's going to swallow the entire continent if we don't do something about it. He just sort of smiles.
Sounds terrible.
We're on a mission from God. No, sorry, I couldn't help myself.
I knew
Already
it.
in the
Oh
God.
man.
God, actually.
Dry white toast. Can I? Yeah. So that's all he'll say. Is there a town? You said there was a town nearby. He'll change
Yeah, you
subject.
guys-
Like no, he's talking to.
Oh, sorry.
Gavin. Like, switch direction straight away. Just like, did you say there was a village or town nearby?
Yes. Needed supplies or anything like that before you headed out?
Well, how big a town?
You would know that because you. Not saying
We
you're
saw
just
it.
trying to roleplay. Yeah, you guys went around it, trying to hide away from it, but you've seen it. It's Gordan.
Is it like a
What's the name of
village or
the
is it a big town or?
Somewhere between those two.
No. Well, it might not be a bad idea to go for a wander and spend some time there. But I was just wondering if there was any workers in town that we could hire to help fix that nasty big hole that Boltzmann put in the side of the building.
I'm already on it. And Boltzmann just reaches into his bag of holding and pulls out, his massive tool, like a leather roll of tools. He pulls out his hammer.
Are you going to fix that entire thing in the day that we're here?
I mean, we're gonna be waiting for the reinforcements, aren't we?
Only a day or two.
It may take a while.
It might take a while.
Well, how about we get some
Oh.
help, Boltzmann? You don't have to be, a show off.
Well, you're welcome to help him.
I
if
was
you'd
going
like,
to,
Dante.
Camille. Thank you very
Oh,
much.
how nice of you.
I didn't ask in the first place just to go find out.
Oh, you didn't have to
I was going to
ask.
pay
You didn't
people to do
need
it for
to.
me.
Of course, everyone else needs to do the dirty work for you. Because
I've got the money.
Handsome, charming. Well, go
Pe-
for it then.
People need work. I can pay for it.
You know, I don't think you have to concern yourselves too much with that. We'll figure that out, I'm sure. We'll make sure that it gets figured out. But yes, that is an option.
We could buy a tarp.
There's
and
always
put over
someone
the
looking
hole.
for work.
Stop the wind.
It's very kind
I'll-
of you to consider.
I'll be helping Boltzmann, and I'm sure Branimir would like to help as well. While you, Dante, can go pay for work.
Okay.
Right.
Was there
Sounds-
a
sounds
well
right.
outside?
Good.
Just completely changed subject again.
Oh,
Actually, was there a well outside? I thought I saw one on the map, but was that actually there?
It's a very good question. That's one of the
Pretty
best
sure there
questions.
was.
I think.
Is it the
there
back
was-
portion?
Who- no.
I'm just not sure if it was there or not.
Yeah. There is. How
I know
about
there
that?
was one on the map. Okay.
There's
so-
a well there, but there's also water barrels that have already been poured.
Wonderful. It gives Camille a quick wink and then starts stripping off his shirt and armor.
Oh,
And
for
drops it.
folks'
Oh
Drop-
my goodness.
drops it in front of the fireplace, or near the fireplace, obviously not in front of the fireplace. It's time to wash up, and he'll wander outside.
And as he's doing so,
Oh, wow.
Camille is just staring at him with the smirk on her face. Do a little dance while you're at it, then.
Oh, he'll shake his ass as he leaves.
Oh, God.
Nice little strut.
Davin will ask Kamael, so does he belong to you?
I'm sorry.
Is he yours?
What? Like
You too.
like a manslave?
No.
I was just about to
Why
make a
are you
slave.
together?
It's about to
Like,
make a
laughs
follow
with coffee.
him. Boltzmann,
Manslave.
Boltzmann.
Manslave.
It's like
Like a-
Boltzmann and Bran just are just sipping their coffee, at the back.
Brand just kind of like elbows Boltzmann. You hear that, manslave?
Can't believe it.
Like
Both of
a
them, they drink their coffee at the same time. God,
like
idiots.
Camille is confused, but she's trying her best not to show that she's confused. Can you explain just a little bit more?
As in, are you two... Wait, are you serious? Are
Yeah.
you two romantically involved? Have you two had relations with one another? Have you
And
two given
as-
each other
Wilson spits out his coffee.
as she's explaining this, Camille's face like contorts in absolute horror, and she looks at Boltzmann.
Boltzmann's jealous.
Did I ask the wrong question? Was it that serious of a relationship? Was it a previous relationship? Oh, I
No,
see. I'm
no,
so
no.
sorry.
Oh dear Lord, it's way too early for me to be blushing. But no, if I was to be honest, he's far too pretty for me. Far too pretty.
What? Oh, not at all. You're beautiful.
Oh no. You see that man right there, the one with a beard.
Huh?
That's more my
Sorry.
taste.
Boltzmann looks
So
at
you
Brand with
two
a
are-
look of concern.
Also,
Devin, what are you doing?
don't get me wrong. I don't know you all, but the way you two were interacting, I thought you might have been together. But if you're with him instead, I didn't mean to assume. That also looks like a lovely relationship.
No. We are completely professionals. We do not have any sort of romantic relations.
What the
Um,
hell is going on?
We are
Gonna go
just
work on the wall.
You're missing
So-
out, Boltzmann. Boltzmann and Saoirse
I
just
only
looking at each
On
asked-
the
other.
porch.
I only
Go ahead,
asked
Camille.
about you and Dante, right? That was the naked one who just left.
Mm.
Saoirse said, I was
Right.
married briefly to him for a while.
Oh, that's true.
Were you really?
Yes. Only for a night.
Brand's
Oh.
wall isn't going to fix itself. Let's go.
Oh,
He's not a very good lover, as you see. It only lasted for one night, so rest in
Oh.
peace.
that's a shame.
It
Whew.
is quite a shame.
I don't appreciate that.
Well, I only asked because I will say, if you plan on going down to this tribe,
Right.
I just thought perhaps if the two of you were together, he might listen to you as far as maybe doing a little less of that.
Oh,
The Marquise have a way about them,
right.
and they're not quite partial to outsiders.
The Protestants.
So you're going to want to tread carefully.
Mormon.
Oh my.
Camille, as unfortunately Branimir and Boltzmann have completely exited the premises. Saoirse is still here, probably brandishing a knife and
Ladies
snickering
time.
to herself.
She's
Yeah.
laughing.
Camille has like a cup of coffee that she has. She basically took that from Bran, like his own pot of coffee. She's drinking her own, and she looks at Davin, and she's very interested. Well, can you go more into detail about where exactly we're putting ourselves in and what we're going to be or should be able to do in order to be more proper?
Max didn't tell you any of this?
Max is not particularly very trustworthy, as I've learned. So he hasn't really said anything.
So you've said. She kind of scratches her head a little bit.
I apologize if that's too forward, but I find it very important not to lie.
No, of course. People are people through and through. You just never know. I hate to assume anything is all. Well. Anyway, no, if he didn't say, and he may not know entirely, but so the Marquise tribe, well, like I said, they're not entirely partial to outsiders, but if you know someone inside, then you have a much better chance of getting in there and maybe asking a few questions for whatever it is you're looking for. And, well, you happen to know someone who happens to know someone very important in there, as it turns out. Without going too far, I might be able to, on your behalf, maybe speak to, the queen, maybe? She kind of, like, looks at her nails, kind of offhanded.
The Queen?
Oh yeah, she and I go way back. As it happens.
So, right. So it's starting to make a little more sense now. You have sorts of dropped hints of being or acting a little more proper.
Have I? Oh, well, that's good to know.
Well, I do
So-
listen.
So it seems. So it seems. But, I thought you should know that since you were so helpful to help all of us and we really didn't do much for you, just thought you should know there's probably ways you want to go about talking to them, even approaching them. So if you can help me get there, I can probably talk my way to let you guys inside.
Right, so no half-naked men.
Correct. And maybe be gentle about what it is you're looking for. If you keep throwing around this temple name, and I know they have a temple, something that's very precious to them, getting you in there with their permission could prove a bit of a challenge. But if you behave well, maybe less of a challenge.
Is there a set of rules that we need to follow?
Well, how familiar are you with Aarakocra?
At a what?
Still
Aarakocra?
wouldn't get your shot of all of this.
We're
was
building a
up on
wall,
the
We're
man.
building.
Ah, man.
You're
You're
outside.
right.
You're above the building.
Yeah, you're down.
We're having that manly urge to build a porch.
Together
Rebuild
as
the
friends.
porch.
Dante's
right?
like dipping his head in the bucket and whipping his hair back to anyone who's looking half naked over the barrel.
Yeah, with the sun shining behind that. Ah, God damn it.
Yeah, exactly. Glistening off his slightly tan body.
How romantic.
Slightly
Oh,
tan,
God.
scarred body.
Oh, fuck
So-
yeah.
He turned it off last night. He's just pulling it back full force this morning.
Need
Is
to
that
keep
what's
in
going
practice.
on? I see. There's definitely ladies watching from the windows.
He's going for a jog soon. Gotta do laps of the place.
Oh, hey!
Yeah.
Oh, God.
One
God
step at a
damn.
time down into the pool, slow motion, flicks his head back.
Don't worry. Dante will enchant everybody in the clan. It'll be fine.
Enchant the queen.
Chicka wow
The queen.
wow.
I feel like he reminds Devin too much of Max, and so it's kind of like,
Oh!
oh, how do I feel about
Hey.
this?
Biggest insult. Biggest insult.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Don't worry,
Steal
I'm not
her away
there.
as revenge.
I'm not there.
Oh, dude.
Steal her away as revenge.
Oh my
Do not put that in his
God.
head. Trust me. Do not put that in
Oh.
his head.
Last time we tried to avoid putting an idea in someone's head, she found out anyway, and now we're gonna kill a dragon later. But we'll see what happens this time.
Anyway, oh my god, we got derailed. Rules.
I don't know if Cam knows about Aarakocra.
No. I don't think she does she, DM?
Roll a history check.
Okay, let's see.
You've got wings. They've got wings. Of course you do.
Yeah.
Birds of a
but-
feather.
It's from the area, so roll with advantage.
Okay.
Oh, you got a
Let's
20.
see.
No, that's not you.
That's not, unfortunately, that's not her, whoever it was. History. I have a -1.
Oh boy.
Let's go.
Oh, fucking hell, 11.
Oh, god damn.
11.
Damn.
I would say that specific word does not ring true with you.
Yeah. Makes sense.
So she'll briefly describe like the generalizations of the Aarakocra.
As soon as you say
Race.
bird people, then she would just know.
Oh yeah, bird people.
Like myself? And she kind of exposes her wings just a little bit and does a little
Oh.
flutter.
Oh my. Those are something.
Oh,
No,
thank
not
you.
quite.
I grew them myself.
You...
God.
And mind you, also there's a height difference here. I think Devin is like a relatively average, if not slightly shorter woman. She's like that dainty, like petite woman. And then like Kamael is her height. So she's like looking up and is like, there's like a notable impressed look on her face. And she says, not quite as angelic as that. It's more of a natural kind of. And she kind of does this like movement of her arms that kind of looks like bird wings versus like angel wings. So it's like more like elbow movements. She realizes it starts to sound really awkward, so she stops. Right, little chicken dance. And she's like, don't tell them I did that. But you get what I mean.
Oh, so like birds, like birds, and she does a bird whistle, a random bird whistle.
That is also beautiful.
Oh, thank you. They've all I've been talking to for years. So
birds, and yet you're so put together. Only birds.
Well, when one is a paladin, one must grow faster than most.
I see. It's fascinating. I have questions for you, but we'll have plenty of time while we're walking. But yes, a bird type of people, much more avian than say you are. Well, you certainly with wings and all that.
Right.
But their types of customs, just that, and then some specifics, which I'd be happy to talk to you all about. Just before we get there, well before we're in reach, you'll be practically novices on your way to us speaking to these people, versus knowing nothing at all.
So, all right. So, but you did say that the queen of this tribe is someone close to you? Someone you've known a while?
Yes, we actually sort of grew up together, kind of side by side. My family had good relations with the Markeith tribe, and they spent a lot of time doing business with the king and queen at the time. She and I, Lotus and I, Queen Lotus, well, not then, but now, she and I grew up playing together and watching business deals and pretending we were doing our own business deals and on occasion getting into trouble, but not too much trouble. Maybe once or twice. It was fine. It all worked out in the end. But, yeah, she and I grew up together. Actually, well, I wonder what kind of a state she's in. I do mean to see her. She actually lost her parents recently. So she is, in fact, queen now.
She lost her parents to...
That is, that's a matter I need to speak to her about.
I see. This is a little more intimidating than I have realized.
Nothing an adventurer can't handle, right? And she kind of gently nudges Camiel's arm near one of her wings.
Camiel just nods and smiles and nods. There's always something new.
It does keep things interesting.
Well, I suppose there's a lot to learn in the coming days while we try to fix everything here. And I don't think I need to talk to Dante about anything. As crass as he appears, he's a little more graceful than he puts out to be. I can promise you that, so I don't need to talk to him about anything. It's Branimir that I'm mostly concerned about.
Oh, the older one.
Yes, the salt and pepper.
Ringing in your ears, Boltzmann.
It's probably just hammering. Just
Like
keep going.
Like someone's aiming between your shoulder blades and you're gonna get stabbed in the back or something.
You need some ear protection out there.
We're not OSHA doesn't exist here.
It's Tribus's version of OSHA. Not here. She will say, that's if as long as you have someone, as long as you all understand, if you want to have one particular person speak for you, that's also probably fine and probably works well. Just instead of everyone talking, you have one set source. I thought it might have been you. You seem very well put together. I figured if anyone could control sort of the group that you came blasting in here with, it might have been you.
Oh, no. I don't control. I guide. That's what I do.
That doesn't sound terribly different, honestly.
Well, to control is to remove choice. To guide is to accept choice.
So they do the same thing at the end of the day, but one is probably a more tactful approach.
Well, yes. But I respect them way too much to be one who controls. But in terms of speaking, it really depends on how this queen would act towards someone like myself, and when I say that, I mean a paladin. Not a lot of people are very accepting.
I think if you're respectful of them and you're respectful of the queen, I think you'll be all right. And if some of you perhaps do a little more of the, she kind of like presses her lips together, I think we'll be okay.
Is the queen... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
David, you would know that they are particular about their religion. It's almost a it's not something that it's not something that they share with any other tribe or any other group in the area. It is specific to them, and it's very much a part of their community. So it's
So to get to this temple that they keep mentioning would be, that's still the trickiest part.
There is a temple. There is a temple. It is not called the Temple of the Makers, so you're not sure if it's connected. There, you know that they do have a temple. They do have a spire, what they call the spire. That is their holy place. But other than that, you don't know. You know that they don't look fondly to other religions because they've had bad experiences, but they're not intrinsically opposed to anything.
Mm-hmm. And she'd relay that in so many words of, you know, they're not, if you don't blast it around who it is you serve, certainly don't try to force it on them. Don't talk about it at all is probably the safest bet.
Well, I think the safest bet is someone who knows how to speak to queens, which is why I think Dante is the perfect choice.
He's not going to get naked, right?
Of course not. He knows
I'm joking.
He knows how to read. I just imagine him just through a window, fucker, just listening in on the conversation. And Camille just turns to look at him. You're eavesdropping.
Dripping wet.
I don't care.
Shrugs and goes for a run.
And there he goes. Do you do this every day?
Oh, he does. He's vain, but it's part of his charm, which is why it is him that you do need to talk to in terms of this. I am just trying to make it safe, like make all of this a safe route for everyone.
Roll a perception check, David.
Perception?
Yep.
Cool. Let's do it.
Oh,
14.
Okay, I sent you something.
Okie doke.
Damn. What does she see?
Okay. So she's kind of laughing it off, and she is watching as Dante leaves. And she kind of pauses for a moment, and then looks back at, kind of shakes her head and looks back at Camille. Sorry, what were we saying?
She looks back and tries to see what it was that kind of distracted her.
There's a naked man running.
That's not really good distraction. He's got a tiny tushy on him.
I've seen a number of naked men before.
True. No disrespect at all.
No, sometimes a job is a job. But anyway.
Yes, anyway.
Dante, as you anything else that you guys want to do?
She just wants to. Oh, sorry.
No. It's I think for Camiel, I think she wouldn't be asking too many of these questions because she wants everyone else to be there too, so that it's not like passing on the information again. So I think she got everything that she needed, and yeah.
And Saoirse is with her, but she's as quiet as normal. She blends into the background.
I'm a bush.
And I think Devin just wants real quick. She just kind of brings up rather abruptly, and she says, "Really, Max approached you the way you said he did?"
Yes, he did. And
what did he say?
Well, Cam thinks about it, and for a moment, it's like she doesn't want to release said information, but she will. And he was basically telling me that I was the most beautiful woman he's ever seen.
That line rings familiar.
Yes, it does. And she just kind of there's a slight frown on her face. And then she kind of makes it into a smile and just kind of slowly nods and says, well, at least, I hope that says something about me then. Anyway, if you have more preparation that you need to do, I'm gonna help. I'm gonna help the ladies. And she looks back at the window again, but although Dante's long gone, and then she shakes her head again and she kind of abruptly leaves.
Camiel's just standing there like, what the fuck just happened? And I would just imagine that at this point she's standing right by the opening where Boltzmann and Bran are fixing things. And she looks at them like, what the fuck just happened?
These hot, sweaty men.
Yeah.
Working with wood.
It's too much. She's got to take a break.
I'm imagining that
This white shirt, chiseling away at some.
I'm imagining that the Call on Me video.
Oh my god!
The Call on Me video, but with Boltzmann and Bran just in tank tops doing the thing.
Getting a jackhammer for whatever reason.
Bolton makes
his pecs
the
just shaking
ripple.
around.
Yep, the pecs just shaking around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, actually, Camiel just wanted to say something else, but Davin is already taken off, and so she just leaves it at that. And
she's tongue-tied.
She would just
join find her later.
She would just join Bran and Boltzmann, and she'd lend a hand to working the wall and handling wood.
Can I give you a hand with that?
Mm-hmm. It was bound to happen today. Wood was going to be handled.
Plenty of wood to go around.
Okay.
Why, yes, there is.
I'm fucking done. I'm fucking done.
Jackie Treehorn. Dante. So you nobody got my Big Lebowski reference.
It's been a
Saw
while.
it once. I fell asleep.
Sorry.
Okay.
I haven't watched it in years.
Yeah, I know. Jackie Treehorn is the producer of the pornos. So Dante, you go for your run. You come back. You do notice when you come back, you put your head back into the water, trying to cool off a little bit.
Uh-huh.
You hear a little bit of a rustling within the barn, and you go and you check it out.
Jesus.
You do find a horse in a stall that does not have. It's eaten all of its hay. It's in a stall by itself. It looks like it hasn't been tended to for a little bit.
The horse is just there by itself, as though it has been forgotten. So it hasn't been tended to.
Not really forgotten. It's normally given food, and it's making a little bit of noise because it's later in the afternoon. It's later in the day already, and it hasn't been fed because most likely whoever was supposed to feed it or whoever's job it was is no longer there.
All right. Well, Dante will walk over to the horse, sort of glancing around to make sure that there isn't anybody else lurking around.
No, you do see the empty cage that you can tell that the owlbear was in, very confined. Some of the bars have bulged out, but it's still in one piece. The doors are kind of off of its hinge in the front, where it had busted out. But there's nothing devious there.
Okay. Is there any food or any like grain or anything that the horse could eat, like
You
at
do
hand?
see some.
Like the
You do some. Yeah, you do see some hail bales that are just not like straw, but a little bit more denser food source. That seems to be the normal.
Well, he's feeling a little sorry for the big dumb thing. He'll grab some of the hay and start feeding it, like just over the fence. Looking inside because he's just a suspicious nature, so he'll just make sure there's nobody hiding underneath the horse as he does it.
Roll a perception check.
23.
Okay. No. There's nothing wrong with the horse. There's nothing in the stall. It does need to be cleaned out. And it does need some water and some food. But other than that, it's just the horse stall. The entire barn seems to be clear of anything else. As you go and try to take care of it, you pick up this hay bale and kind of bring it over to the horse's stall. As you look back, you do see on the floor a door leading down into the ground.
Trap door.
Mm-hmm.
Does he notice whether it's been used lately? Like, can he see any I don't know, just like scuff marks, like as if the hay has been dragged away or anything like that?
Once you picked it up, it doesn't look like forgotten. It looks fairly well maintained. There's a lock that seems to be in very good condition. It doesn't look forgotten. I don't know that you could tell if it's being currently used, but
so it is locked though.
Yep.
All right, so he'll still go make sure he dumps the hay for the horse, give it a quick pat, make sure it's all right, and then he'll go over and just do a quick glance or a look to see whether there's a trap on the lock. See if there are any devices attached to it or built into it or anything.
Roll for investigation.
Not a perception.
It's
a natural 20.
Are you looking for the trap? Or are you feeling around for the trap?
It's a natural 20.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
right.
you don't. There's nothing on this. It's just a lock, and with a 20, you can tell that it's not a super industrial lock. It's not something that's magically looks like anything that's too hard to pick.
He has a little look around to make sure nobody's watching. Turn to the horse and say, "Don't you tell anybody." And he sticks his hand down the front of his pants. Sort of feels around a little bit and pulls out a couple of little lockpicks. And you promise, and then to the horse, and then goes to the lock and just opens it up.
Roll a sleight of hand. Or thieves' tool.
29.
Holy shit. Yeah, you are able to very distinctly pull the item from your pants and unlock this lock very quickly.
He'll take the lock and he'll stuff the picks back down his pants and then sort of lift it up to have a look down and see if he can see anything.
There's a ladder. There's a ladder that goes into darkness.
How far down? He can see up to 60 feet.
From 60 feet, you can see the bottom of this, but there's not any detail. You just see the stone floor that's there.
So I can see. Sorry, I can see the floor. You said.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Yes.
he'll. So we're saying like 20 feet down.
A little bit more than that. It's like a tunnel that opens up into some sort of opening, and you can see the floor below.
Oh my lord!
Uh,
In his head.
I'll be right back. But keep role playing.
Well, I can't roleplay with myself. It seems a little bit.
Do it. You can play with yourself. It's fine.
Well,
Dude,
you
I
already
literally was
started.
just, I
You already
literally was just like in
started.
the chat.
The hand.
I
The
was
hand.
like, listen, the feels around
here.
part
Oh,
was
yeah.
not
When he
necessary. He
put-
knew exactly where those pieces were.
When he put his hand back
Oh,
down there
dear.
to put the lockpicks away, he may or may not have
Describe
stayed down there a
exactly where they are.
little bit longer. He's not telling anyone. That's the secret.
a long
They're not
night.
allowed. They're not allowed to know.
Describe the material of the pants.
What, his leather
I'm
pants?
back.
Oh, we
You
have someone
stop
who
playing
talks
with
to
yourself.
animals.
His leather pants, they're tied on his
We definitely
ass.
have someone who could talk
He-
to animals.
He agrees that he has a flat ass, but it still looks good in these pants.
Yeah, the horse never agreed not to say anything.
She was just joking about the small tushy. Don't worry.
You know-
As far as
Oh, Saoirse can talk to animals, right?
don't even.
And Camille too. Camille can talk
Yup.
to animals.
Well, I didn't do anything to that horse, damn it. I fed it. Made sure it was all right.
That's why the bulge in his pants looks abnormally large, is because of all the lock picks that he shoves down there.
Oh my god.
I thought he was putting the lock in there. He said he took the lock.
No, I put that in my pocket or my pouch.
okay.
I still got that on my belt. He still doesn't have a shirt on his arm or anything like that. So,
Oh my god.
There's a hole in the ground.
there is, and he's going in. He's gonna slip down to have a quick look. He's gonna try and do it fast, and when he hits the bottom, sword out to see if there's anything there. Like he's still got the cloth wrap on his hand, so he just whips that out at the ready in case anyone's down there ready to shoot or stab or injure him in any way.
So okay, you do end up going down to the stone level. You don't find anyone there. You do look super cool in this superhero pose as you kind of one-handed down the ladder and then whip out your rapier at the last second. But there's nothing around there. It's dark. With your dark vision, you can tell what's there. There just seems to be empty cells.
Empty cells.
Yes.
How many?
9.
Are there any? Are they just cells, or if he starts walking down a little bit, can he see like an office or anything like that, or is there a place where they store?
This seems to be just cells. It just seems to be like jail cells. Looking inside, you can tell that you can see pieces of cloth. You can see food trays. You can see chains, manacles, those types of things. From everything that you see, this was used for people. This was not animals. This was not creatures. This was humans. You do see signs of recent use, not current use. There's nobody down here, but you do notice that it wasn't that long ago that somebody was down here.
He makes his way back up the ladder. And with a look that's a little more serious than you'd think when he walks through the door, he sort of looks at Davin. Would you happen to know anything about the cell? The hole in the ground with the cells in the stables? As he just walks in, sort of picking up one of his shirts to dry himself off with.
Hole in the ground? I don't think that sounds familiar.
No.
No. What? Where did you find a hole in the ground with cells?
In the barn. Oh, sorry, in the stable. There are cells in the ground. 9 of them. Recently
I
used.
didn't go out there very often. Recently?
Nothing in there now, from what I can see. We'll have to have another look.
And she wonders for a moment, like kind of frowning, and then she asks, well, "Can you show me where?"
Of course. Everybody. He sort of kind of looks at Kemiel and first and sort of glances at her. And then over to the others. Sorry, we have to go. They're in the building. They're in their building, aren't they?
A fictional wall.
That's it.
Yeah.
Hammering and ka-chunk, 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 and
Of course I'll show you.
Where
But-
the rain-
Barnabas is already out there, helping out as well.
Missing
Barnabas
shots.
has like a nail gun.
That's how we're
like a
gonna do
nail
it in
gun
one day.
attachment.
Missing
a
shots.
pneumatic staple gun.
Don't worry, it takes a while. We'll go out. He'll go out. Grab Kemiel and Boltzmann and Bran. I think you guys better have a look at this and let show Devin the way.
Boltzmann takes his bag of holding with him and goes along.
Same for Cam.
As he'll pick up a torch as well out of his pack. I think I've got a torch, and or it's just a stick of wood and jam it in the fire to light it up, and we'll take them into the stable and motion and show them the hole in the ground. Cells, 9 of them.
What?
Oh, it's
Did we go down into?
Yeah.
Sure.
If you guys want to, you can make your way down.
Mhm.
There's not a whole lot of extra room. There's enough room for everyone without stepping into the cells. The cells are all open at this point. There's one bare wall that has a few random weapons, a longsword, and some extra manacles, and also a set of keys that seem to be for these individual cells. Above that, on that one bare wall, there is a sign. There is a carving of a stag, and written on that is Order of the Khans.
So basically, what you see in here is what you get. There's no secondary rooms. There's no.
Everybody roll a perception check.
Cool.
Okay.
Could it be investigation?
Yeah, if you want to get your hands dirty a little bit. Yep.
23 for. Oh no.
Oh shit! Sorry.
They're everywhere. 14 this
Can't see,
time
can't
for.
Yay! 25.
Roll again.
She investigates things.
I just rolled
Yo,
another
nat
natural 20 for investigation.
Nice. 10.
Everyone notices everything that's there. There's no people. There doesn't seem to be any exterior rooms. This is underground. There's no movement of air that seems to be off that you can find in some of these. You guys have been in caves and dungeons before. So none of that. Kemiel, you do know that symbol very well. You do know
Yes.
the representation of the stag. This one specifically, this plaque, this signage seems very old. This seems generationally. And this sign that is there would definitely be something that you would not remember seeing
Mm-hmm.
specifically, but similarly to something that you saw in the cabin
Right.
in the woods.
Is there?
Davin's a little defeated. Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Go ahead.
I didn't know if there was more Moose was telling Camille about.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, she's the only one that would recognize that. She's the only one with that history.
Okay. Davin was when they first got down there and so they started. She immediately starts going up to the walls and it's a little more like jolted movement than she had been. She were kind of relatively smoothly just following everyone. But then she starts like feeling the walls and like searching and like down on her knees and looking and she looks kind of defeated after her own search, but she'll wait by the ladder for the others, kind of still glancing around this place.
We can definitely like come to the conclusion that what was kept here are people, but just to make sure, is there anything on the ground itself that would give more information? Are we possibly looking at, say, for example, tiny shoes?
I would say that evidence doesn't exist.
Okay, got it.
You're not for certain exactly what was in here or
Mhm.
what has been in here in the past.
Mhm.
You do see like some rags and torn clothes that seem to be adult size,
Okay.
but mixed in it with that is also evidence that there may be more than that, but nothing specific, nothing that's hard and true.
Okay. So just a few rags, a few discarded clothes, and the etching.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
It's almost like a placard. It's almost like a sign of ownership and a sign of this is not something you don't want to advertise a criminal organization in the middle of a bar that's open to the public.
I see. Yeah, I think Cam will relay that to everyone else. Although I'm pretty sure they also kind of jumped to the conclusion that this is something the cons would have had.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good thing he's dead. Dante will leave. Go back up to the horse. Make sure he gets
Davin follows closely behind.
It's a pat down.
She just kind of shakes her head.
Rub down and gives it water.
Are you doing anything, Cam?
If there is nothing else to uncover here, I don't think she'd stay. She just after especially hearing Dante say, "Well, it's a good thing he's dead." She hears that, but she's trying her best not to react to it. She just kind of poises herself just a little more and follows them out. Yeah, I think that's about it.
Saoirse, who would have gone with you guys? Go ahead, Bryn.
I think if Devin will she followed closely behind Dante when he was ready to go, and then she was ready to go, and she actually will say to him, "You guys did us a huge favor, and aside to that, if you do come across Max again, maybe you'll come find me and let me know." She clearly looks unhappy about this fact.
Oh boy. I think Bran was about to say something as well.
Dante just sort of like kind of glances at her and just, I have said to everybody that I'm going to kill him, so but I don't plan on killing him. Maybe break him a little bit. And I'll come get you. I'll tie him up.
Thank you.
And you'll be able to find him.
Thank you. I can think of a number of people probably who might have similar ideas.
Don't tell them.
Unfortunately.
Don't tell the others though.
I won't say a word.
When Saoirse comes up, you see her holding in one hand the signage. She comes up and walks into the main room, calls Camiel over, stands in front of the fireplace.
Yeah, Camiel will walk over to Saoirse. Yes?
I think you should have the honors. She hands you the board.
Camiel, I imagine she has like a rag, and she's like wiping her hands because she was thinking of going back to the wall, and she looks at the signage and looks at Saoirse. It's a plank. It's a plank of wood.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is.
Camiel forces her lips to close. She is basically standing there, gripping her hands, like she wants to say something. But instead, she opens her hands, her palms, and takes the signage, looks at Saoirse. Thank you. And merely just tosses it into the fire, and she watches it burn.
Saoirse will give you like a half hug, putting your arm around the back of you quickly before releasing and walking back to the bar.
And Camiel accepts. And she's just watching this plank of wood, aged plank of wood signage just burn away, as if she's fixated on it just for a little bit. She doesn't even notice that Saoirse has walked away, and she's just standing there before looking away and walking back to the wall itself with Boltzmann and Branimir.
I was about to say that seeing before actually leaving the cellar with the cages in them, this would remind Boltzmann of what he saw back in the forest that he and the group had stayed in quite a few weeks ago, almost months ago. Months, yeah. Folks Point, same place where they found little Addie, and
Oh,
yeah, Boltzmann just shakes his head, looks towards Bran. It's like he's looking at Bran as well, seeing how he's reacting to this hellhole, literal hellhole.
There's a visible look of disgust on Bran's face as similarly Bran is thinking of cells in the past, but his way of thinking is he was thinking of the particular cells that were keeping, oh no, what's her name? Shoot. The woman we had to escort to the...
Donna.
The pregnant woman?
Yes.
Is it Donna?
Delilah?
Delilah. God damn it, Dante.
Yeah.
That's it.
Delilah.
Yeah,
Preggers?
Bran would have been reminded of there.
Hey there, Delilah.
Dante would
definitely not Dante's baby. It could not possibly be.
Can't let it-
Just for the
Immaculate
record.
Conception.
I think he's a little
The
safer
baby's
than that.
name. The baby's name is not Dante.
not Dante.
Not Dante's baby.
I tried really hard. She just didn't want to accept it.
God.
Oh my god.
Anyways.
But yeah, Bran would be reminded of the cages that were keeping Delilah and some other folks. Bran would slowly turn to Boltzmann. Think we can do something about sealing this up?
was about to propose that I'd cave this place in, but sure, permanently sealing this place off should be a better option, I guess.
I think Bran was actually suggesting that, like, the shatter.
Yeah, exactly what? Oh. Well, and there's now this
collapse the
smile.
whole thing.
There's now a grin on Boltzmann's face.
Oh my god.
If you'll excuse me, I think the better option here, Bran, is that you would go up the ladder just in case, And
You
I
have Bran's 100% permission to blow something up.
yeah, and there's now this massive smile in Boltzmann's face. Then, but wait, but then Boltzmann thinks about it. He's gonna do some visual calculus here. He looks towards. You did say, Bruce, that this thing is inside a, what was it, a barn of sorts? I mean, a stable of sorts.
Stable. Yeah.
Looks at the stable.
There's a wooden stable above you, so yeah.
Yeah. But the stable, Bran. It's going to collapse, probably.
What use will the ladies have for basically a cellar down here with nothing but cages?
Well, I think we should ask permission first. That would be a prudent thing to do, and he's already pulling out his arcane firearm from his bag of holding, already being very tempted to just pull the trigger right here and now. Yeah, I think
Odd
we
for
should just,
Boltzmann to be the voice of reason.
it's safety concerns, Brad. Safety concerns, But let's just run this through with the ladies first, shall we?
We could build a barn, can't we?
The entire next campaign arc.
Yep.
Just
Yeah.
rebuilding the barn and the
Makes
stag.
couple weeks.
Boltzmann looks at Bran. Stand
Just the
aside.
scene from Red
Stand
Dead
aside.
Redemption where they build that house or whatever.
Stand aside. Boltzmann now pulls out his arcane firearm. He loads the familiar yellow tinted shell into its breech and aims at the hole. And DM, I will cast.
Are you upstairs or under the ground?
No, I'm
We're out.
already out. The both of us are already out.
I'm with
Dude.
the horse. What the hell are you doing, Boltzmann?
It's like
He says you
just
point
see
the gun at this
Bran
hole.
and Boltzmann.
Better
You
get
just
the
see
horse
Bran
outta
and
here.
Boltzmann.
What are you
Yeah,
doing?
Bran,
Like literally, what are you
Boltzmann-
doing? I don't even know.
Boltzmann doesn't reply.
Davin could still be there for God's sake. Like, what are you doing?
No, everyone left.
Everybody's
No,
outside.
Do you
Dante's
think we
been-
would even do this if there were people down there?
Well, Dante's been with the
Fine.
horse. He didn't leave. He's been sitting there looking after the horse.
No.
We went upstairs.
Yeah,
I went
yeah.
over to the horse. Davin came with Dante. I walked over with Dante. It was Saoirse and Camille who went inside.
Yeah, so you're with a horse. But anyways,
In the
we just
stable.
don't like this.
Anyways, I
We
load the
don't-
shell.
Anyways, I load the shell. I point the gun over to the hole, and that's where Dante interjects, and Boltzmann just looks over towards. I'd assume that Bran as well. would look over. The both of them would look over to Dante, and who speaks first? So you're gonna talk.
That's where we end tonight's session.
You're gonna blow. I want to see him blow up the bar. Go ahead.
Right. Dante, we've seen enough prisons and hellholes. We know what goes on in these sorts of things.
It's a hole in the ground, Boltzmann. Have you ever heard of a cellar?
Yes. From where you come from, do cellars have, well, jail cells in them and tiny cramped rooms, the sorts that we found? What's your lover's name again? Delilah, or probably oh God, oh my God, what's the name of the Albert? Oh my God, why is my brain Addie? The same sorts of places we found Addie and Delilah. There's other people. Getting sick of these things.
You can pull the cages down. You could resell the iron for one. You could go back into this place. You can get rid of the cages. It's a hole in the ground. They can store food. It's an inn, a tavern. They can keep supplies down there. It's a practical hole, and the work's already done. What about the horse? Are you just gonna drop this on top of the horse? That's a cow, man.
No. What's a cow, Moose? Immersion broken. Unplayable. Literally unplayable. This game is literally unplayable.
New game. New campaign.
Anyways,
I want
This was a
horses
fan
sounds.
DDRP up until they mistook a cow with a horse.
Boltzmann
Horse the cow.
looks at Dante, then at Bran. He sighs. He pops the gun open, pulls out the shell, and what do you call that? Pulls out the shell and puts the shell back into his bag of holding and his gun as well. And he hops down. Fine, I'll tear down the cells.
I'm sure there's a blacksmith in town that'll take that for a price. Reforge it into something useful.
Boltzmann's just gonna try through might or magic. Oh God! To just pull down the cells.
My God,
Yeah,
I thought
you're
I
able
was
to
in.
do that.
I was like, you're just gonna blow up a hole under the stable with a horse in it.
You just broke
Oh,
Boltzmann's heart.
It's
All
Dante
of a
just goes
sudden,
back to the
all of a
horse.
sudden,
Other party
Dante
members have
turns
done
into a
stupider
soft.
things.
Dante's gone soft though, just
Da-
because he found a horse.
Dante's mumbling to the horse. Now you make sure you don't tell anyone about my secret. I just saved you. And he's just he's found a brush somewhere and he's brushing the horse down.
Now the horse won't tell.
God,
I'd not.
but yeah.
So, as
Guess we don't blow it up.
as Boltzmann begins deconstructing the prison cells in the base in the
Rimworld.
underground.
Which will take days.
With Boltzmann? Come on.
No, you got Barnabas out there helping. He's much more
Yeah.
helpful at destroying things than
Uh-huh.
building things.
No meltdowns of
Um,
those beams. Yeah.
As the work around the Stag and Doe continue to rebuild, to create something new, that is where we will leave off this evening.
Hey.
And yeah.
Hey.
That was exciting.
We almost blew up a hole in the ground.
Hey,
Sad.
But nice.
And a horse.
Yeah, with a horse. Horse chunks. Mm-mm.
Dante wasn't going to leave that horse, by the way. Yeah, he was going to try and get it out, even if the building
Fucking
collapsed on
course
top of
not.
it.
The horse
We,
whisperer.
we could use a horse.
And now
So,
I'm
we
really
had
wondering,
horses.
like, what Davin saw.
Mm.
I'm
Well,
like,
Dante-
I don't
what
know.
is it?
Dante's-
Is it like
Dante's-
a
Saw that
wait?
thing on his
Dante.
Wait,
butt cheek.
is it a birthmark?
Do they have a shared birthmark? Are they twins?
We're not related,
Nah,
damn
boy.
it.
It's
Oh,
a
boy.
pimple on his ass cheek.
Oh boy.
Oh,
Mm,
oh.
Oh boy.
Would you like
He
to
has
come
the
and find
same-
out?
He's got the same
Dante will
You're
happily
gonna-
model it in front of you if you
Find
want.
out. Dante's constantly naked 24/7. I'm sure
Half
everyone knows
naked.
every
We've all seen
Half
Dante's
naked,
butt.
yeah.
Half naked. The only time we got
Yeah,
fully
it's like
naked
a-
was in the bath.
It's a rite of initiation in this group. Like, if you have to see Dante's bare naked ass. I mean, Emmy
I was
never
about to
goes through it.
say, I didn't know that
Better than
Emily
what
had,
are.
but then I remember she did back at the
Oh,
keep.
she has, yeah.
Oh
She
yeah.
did at the
Welcome
keep.
to the team, by the way.
Anybody in the bath gets to see him naked. You
Right
share.
Fantastic.
You get shared with.
So I'd like to thank our new followers this week. Nothing today, but Enix Void 4 days ago and Sir Winters yesterday. Thank you for joining. Hopefully you got to catch some of tonight's action. I want to say thank you to all of our followers, all of our supporters, everyone that shows up every week to be a part of the show, for being here. If you missed any part of this episode, the VOD is available immediately on Twitch, but they will not stay there forever. So if you want to catch up on any of our previous episodes in the campaign, the link to our YouTube is below. Search Black Dragon RP and look for the big dragon eye logo. Last thing before we go, I want to take a moment to shout out our players in the info box below. You'll see some links. Go check out these wonderful people. Some of them have links to their Twitter accounts, like RPG Theologian Rob, who plays Saoirse, who is not here tonight because, I'll say it, he's getting married. Congratulations, Rob.
Congratulations.
The Relentless Hunter, Aaron, who plays Branimir, Throwaway Doodles, Ellen, who plays Boltzmann, and some who stream here on Twitch, like Thumper Knox, Ryan, who plays Dante, Yumi Segura, Tony, who plays Camiel, and currently no longer, I gotta change my script, Brenna, who streams on the Bryn Nailed It channel and plays Amivi. And today, David. I am Brad. I'm also known as Monocle Moose on all platforms. Go check us all out and go to the info box below and click the links. That wraps up this episode from us. Thank you very much for being here. We will see you here again next week. Same time, same Twitch channel. One shot from Brenna next week. So thank you for doing that. We love you very much. And goodbye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Next week.